I have been juicing for the past 17 years and I have gotten some pretty amazing results. I have an abundance of energy, I have healthy glowing skin, clear thinking, and great eliminations, which is vital for good health and vitality. I am now ready to share all of my juicing secrets with the world. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you and teach you how to make my favorite drink that I've been drinking for the past, actually over 17 years. And I've affectionately titled it or named it Juicy Joe. And Juicy Joe consists of, again, all of my ingredients are organic, and I try and do local, seasonal whenever possible. But organic is vital and key. So as you can see, my carrots are rolling out of the bag. But I normally buy a fresh 5-pound bag of carrots that will last me probably about a week or a little less. Fresh parsley, again, all ingredients are organic whenever possible. We are going to use kale, fresh ginger root, and apple. And there's so many wonderful varieties of apples that I basically just kind of alternate my apples and my greens. Every time you make a juice, my staple in every juice I make is carrots and some type of green. Green is great. It has lots of chlorophyll. It's the pigment that turns the vegetable green. The greens are filled with Choctaw full of B vitamins. It has calcium, great for iron. Carrots are amazing. Carrots will give you some wonderful, beautiful, glowing skin. Carrots are filled with beta-carotene, which is an anti-cancer, has an anti-cancer agent. It has vitamin A, and the body pretty much will produce, turn the carotene into vitamin A as needed. Ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory. And then we have delicious, nutritious apples. And basically what I do, I am not big on measuring because I've been doing this for so long. I just kind of grab my ingredients. So what we'll do for the sake of this video is we'll take maybe 4 to 5 carrots. So as you can see, I have 5 carrots. I never cut the ends of my carrots off. You can if you like. I just juice everything just as raw and as natural as I can. Next, what we'll do is you buy the parsley in a bunch. I just take a handful of parsley. So we'll take a handful of parsley, we'll go ahead and add that to our ingredients, and we're going to start adding everything to our colander so we can rinse everything off. So we're going to add those 2 to the colander. We'll get 1 to 2 leaves of kale. In this case, let's take 1 large one, 1 small one, and the ginger, let's take about an inch, maybe 2 inches of ginger, and the apple, you can do half an apple. Apple is pretty sweet, but so are carrots. So in this case, I'm just going to use the whole apple because I don't want to have to worry about what I'm going to do with the other half. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to rinse my vegetables, I'm going to rinse my produce as thoroughly as I can. Again, we want to buy organic whenever possible. If you are living in an area where you do not have access to organic, do not let that deter you from buying your produce. The benefits definitely outweigh the risks. If you do buy conventional produce that has been sprayed with herbicides or pesticides, just simply get a vegetable brush and rinse with water and just scrub the vegetables very thoroughly. And what I do with when I do not have access to organic is I take a fresh lemon, and then again I always rub it and I roll it to get the juices flowing. It's easier to get all the juice out of that fresh lemon if you just go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and cut it in half. And again, if you're using organic, conventional, you can squeeze this in a jar, in a bowl, and add it water. And if you have a spray bottle, just kind of spray it on your vegetables, or you can just kind of squeeze it on. And don't be afraid to use your lemon. I mean, how much is a lemon in the grocery store? It's a natural cleanser. You can kind of rub your vegetables. Again, if they're conventional, just to get help get the pesticides off, kind of rub it down with the lemon. Kind of rinse thoroughly as you possibly can, whether you're getting organic or conventional. It's really more vital to use the lemon to cleanse the pesticides off the conventional when possible. Alright, so I've rinsed my vegetables as thoroughly as I can get them. And try to use filter water when you can. Water is normally filled with chlorine and other agents, so we want to try and filter that water. And we have a filter underneath our counter. So we do filtration as much as possible. So I'm going to take all my produce and I'm going to go ahead and transfer them to my cutting board. Okay? And then what I'll do is I do need to slice up my apple because I need to fit it through my hopper. Now my hopper on my juicer is only but so big. Okay, it's as round as this is, and this is actually a Champion juicer. This is my favorite juicer. My last Champion lasted me for about 5 years, and finally the motor burned out, so I had to go ahead and reinvest in a new one. And the last one I had was white, so I decided to get a nice, smooth, easy black one. This one has a commercial motor. I figured if I got a commercial motor, it would last me a little bit longer. I have heard that the seeds in the apples do contain traces of cyanide, so we want to try not to juice the seeds. But I'll be honest with you, once in a while, you know, if I'm in a rush, I got to run to work, drop my kids off to school, sometimes I just don't bother with the seeds. But as much as possible, try and take the seeds out of the apple before you juice it. Okay? And again, I'm just slicing this so it can be able to fit through my hopper. So I've de-seeded my apple. I've gotten all my ingredients ready, and the little residue here is because I juiced a little bit ginger earlier. I'm going to take my my pitcher. This actually comes with your juicer. You're going to rinse it as thoroughly as you can. Made a little bit of tea earlier. Alrighty. And then what I want to do is, the way my juicer is designed, I need something to catch the residue, to catch the pulp that comes out of it. So I'm just going to use a regular old bag from the grocery store. A lot of times I'll use the produce bag. So in this case, I'm going to use a grocery store bag. Reuse, rethink, recycle. I'm going to go ahead and turn my juicer on. Okay, that's one speed. And I always start with the carrot. I'm going to start juicing my carrot. Again, I'm going to juice it cold. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of apple. And I'm just going to kind of alternate my ingredients. I'm going to put my ginger. Ginger is very spicy. Again, the carrots are sweet. The kale is bitter, so the synergy of all these ingredients kind of balance out one another for a nice, smooth, refreshing taste. The sweetness of the carrot and apple will balance out the bitterness of the kale. And it is some work. You get a muscle workout here, as you can see. Alright, to kind of push the rest of that kale through, I'll send the carrot through with it. There we go. Alright, and then again I take a handful of parsley. Parsley is filled with chlorophyll, which is amazing for the body. And again, my B vitamins. I'll go ahead and push it through. Chase it with some apple. And then you're just alternating your ingredients through the hopper. Alright, we'll get another piece of kale because we use 2 leaves of kale. Always when you make a juice, you always want to have a nice dark leafy green vegetable. Again, it's filled with calcium, iron, a lot of B vitamins. It's so vital for good health. A lot of people think you need to get calcium from milk and dairy, and that's just it's a fallacy. They actually supplement and add those calcium. It's not even naturally occurring in those ingredients. This is naturally occurring. This is the best source, the most concentrated source of vitamins and minerals that you can get for your body. Very medicinal and it's very healing, and it does wonders for the body. Alright, we're almost done here. And these ingredients will probably yield us, depending on how many carrots you measured out, 12 to 16 ounces of juice. Alright, and you can alternate arms. I'm a lefty, I'm very dominant with my left side. Alrighty. What I'm doing is I'm just running it through a little bit longer just to make sure I've gotten all the juice out of there. Alright. So we are done. There's been a lot of controversy or discussion about juicing versus blending. Now again, I've been juicing for the last 17 years, and I can attest to something very powerful and amazing about concentrate juice. Now again, you will lose the fiber, and fiber is important for digestion, the colon, and good health. But I basically make my fiber up from eating fresh fruits, fresh produce. I eat lots of fresh fruits. I eat lots of fresh vegetables. A lot of salads. I eat a lot of soups, vegetarian soups, to basically ensure that, or steamed vegetables, to ensure that I'm getting my my fiber intake. But with the juicing, it's just something so powerful. Again, it's great for the skin. It's great for vitality, it's great for energy. I feel young. Again, I'm 45 years old, and people guess me. I've been guessed as young as my daughter, who's almost 21 years old. When I take her off to college, people sometimes think I'm one of her friends. Not that I want to look 20-something years old, but it really feels good when people guess me, you know, in my 30s. I feel very blessed, and I know a lot of it has to do with my juicing and my diet. I do a lot of yoga, I meditate, I have a positive outlook on life, and all of these things factor into good health. But again, my juicing is my staple, and when I go a day or so without juicing, I feel lethargic, I don't feel as energized. And that's why I say it's very powerful. And I know we have busy lives, but I encourage everybody at least once a day to make a fresh juice. So what I'm going to do is I made my vegetable juice cocktail, and I'll go ahead and pour it off in my tall glass here. And then I'm going to save a little bit. And a lot of people will say that children are finicky and they can't get their kids to drink this. I'm going to, what I do with my son, I usually strain out, because as you can see, there's a lot of pulp that actually gets left behind, the residue. That's nourishment, so we never want to throw that out. But when we're dealing with children, we want to encourage our children to be healthy like we are, but we have to make some kind of adjustment. So what I do is I strain off that pulp, because I want no complaints from my son. And again, my daughter is, you know, again, she's 20, she's gone off and bought herself a juicer at college. So I'm glad she's, you know, she would fight me about drinking the juice, but I'm glad she's actually adapted the lifestyle. I feel very pleased and very honored that she realizes the nutritional value as well. So with my son, I'm going to strain off the pulp, because again, I want a nice, smooth, refreshing beverage. Already he'll look at it and say, oh, it looks like a funny color, it's kind of green, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear any of that. But he's trained at the point now where, you know, this is no compromise, especially when it's cold and flu season, which it is now here in Washington, D.C. And I talked to my son and I explained to him the value of nourishment and vitamins and minerals, and the value of a strong immune system. So as you can probably hear the door slamming, come over, my little one. My son is playing with his dog, who you can probably hear in the background barking. And I'm going to take the rest of that residue and I'm going to put it in my glass. I'm not going to waste any of this powerful, refreshing beverage. So this is Tay. Tay is a very energized little 9-year-old boy, and he's been drinking my juices since I don't know how long. I made you my favorite drink, Juicy Joe. So here you go. I've strained it for you, and I want you to show everybody that children will and can drink a nutritional beverage, freshly squeezed juice. So please don't tell me that your kids are finicky. If they are, it's because you allow them to be finicky. Perfect. How did that taste?
Good.
And what is it going to do for your body?
Help me with stuff.
It's cold and flu season, right? You get sick very rarely, right? Because you drink a lot of ginger tea and a lot of freshly squeezed juices made by mommy, right? And a lot of produce. And this boy loves clementines. Take a couple of clementines. Go off and play with your doggy. All right, so thank you for tuning in. That was Juicy Joe. Again, to recap the recipe, 4 or 5 pieces of carrots. You can take a whole apple or half an apple, depending on your taste. 1 or 2 pieces of kale. Don't get too caught up in the measurements. Just do it. Handful of parsley. And remember, ginger is a bit spicy, so use it according to taste. This will probably suffice for that amount of juice and a piece of ginger. And you're going to get a nice, refreshing juice beverage. And again, save that residue, save that pulp, and savor that taste. Again, I'm 45. I'm sharing my secret of youth and vitality with you. Drink the juice. Tune in next time for my next favorite recipe.